Hey YouTube, this is Elvis, owner of Emergency Management Restoration. Let's talk about women in the property preservation industry. Women in the property preservation industry, not just doing small janitorial tasks, but actually getting their hands deep into all aspects of property preservation. Let's see what we can find out today. I had a young lady ask me sincerely, she was sincere, are women or females in the property preservation industry, not just in the light duty aspects, but doing all aspects of property preservation? And the answer is yes. Women are very active in the property preservation industry. Let me give you some stats, all right? These are my stats coming from my platform, which is found on either YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn. And these are the stats pertaining to the question how active and how involved women are in the property preservation industry. According to my statistics in my database, like I said, either on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, 97% of my responders, my initial responders, are women. Whether the woman is affiliated with another female partner, or she's a wife, or she is the first point of contact that reaches out to me, 97% of all the people who reach out to me are women. They're the first ones who are on social media finding me and reaching out to me with questions and wanting answers to most of the questions that you see me formulate. These questions come from women. How they deal with that information after I give it to them, that's hard to track. But the majority of those who actually pay for my course are women. Now, do they hire another person to sub the work out? That's to be found out later. Or do they partner with their husbands? Oftentimes, yes, because when I counsel them, they want the husband and themselves in the meeting so that they can learn what's going on. And or do they partner with a sister or a relative, female relative, who they decide that they're going to go into this industry together. I have on my YouTube channel a testimonial of two females who are in the business, and they're smashing it, man. They're doing great. Right? Another point to mention: approximately 97% of the individuals who come to my platforms are women, because typically, this has been my stats now, they could be different for you and your experience, but from my platform, these women own at least 51% of the business. When a female owns 51% of the business, she is the primary. She holds the majority of ownership of that business, whether she's an LLC or an S corporation or an incorporation or a sole proprietor with another person. That female who owns 51% owns the predominancy of that business. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of talking about the significance of 51% or less than 51%. That's another conversation, another animal that we can deal with later. If you have any questions on it, ask me and we can go deeper into that. But you just need to know that most of the people, 97% of these individuals who reach out to me, are females, and they are the business owners owning 51% of the business, right? So that's significant. And then they share the information with others. Another point to mention, the property preservation industry is kind of unique in this one regard. Property preservation does not consider your gender, it does not consider your age, it does not consider your religious affiliation, and it doesn't consider your credit score, right? What it does consider, and is crucial almost, is that it considers whether or not you have a clean background, right? It also considers whether or not you are able to obtain general liability and errors and omission insurance, right? And it considers whether or not you're able to read, write, and follow instructions and be able to receive work orders, complete them, and upload them with justifying before, during, and after photos. Those are the elements that property preservation industry are specific on. But let me be clear, and this is not to try to appease to my women vendors, but facts are facts, right? Stats are stats. The proof is in the pudding, if you will. Property preservation is not a woman-dominated industry, mostly because it's a dirty, grimy type of industry. If you don't like getting your hands dirty and you're more into having long fingernails and dripping with jewelry, the property preservation business may not be a good fit for you, unless you are comfortable taking those long nails off when you're doing projects and getting grimy and dirty into the field, because it's labor intensive, it's laborious, right? It's construction. You're doing a little bit of all kind of stuff, boarding up windows, boarding up swimming pools, cutting lawns, trimming trees, trimming hedges, reglazing windows, changing locks on doors, breaking into houses legitimately, crawling into tight crawl spaces where there's possible rodents in the environment, and dealing with the debris that someone has left behind who may have been disgruntled about leaving their home in the first place. And so these are some of the conditions that you see most men doing it. But times are changing, and I'm starting to see an influx. My stats are showing an influx of women getting into the industry, and they're doing all phases of it. They're not just stuck in the office doing the admin process. They're actually out in the field, boots, gloves, hard hats, getting down grimy and dirty, and they clean up, they look beautiful and feminine, and they're getting paid, right? This is not to say that men are losing any gain. It's just what it is, man. Women are placed in positions where they have to be mommy and daddy, and they are looking for means to subsidize their income or replace their 9-to-5. And I encourage you, right? I encourage you to strongly consider property preservation business. But let me leave you with this tip. The tip is, get some training, get some coaching. Whether you take my class or not, find someone that you are comfortable with, who is an expert. They've proven that they've maintained an actual property preservation business and that they were successful. Vet that person and make sure that they're not just book smart, but they're industry smart. They actually have spent some years and demonstrating that they know what they're talking about in the field. Cling to that person, hire that person, pay for their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Don't jump into this business and thinking that you're going to shoot from the hip and learn as you go. That's a very costly and discouraging and oftentimes met with failure because it's expensive out here. Materials are expensive, fuel is expensive, and your time, effort, and energy is expensive. And if you think that you're going to start out just subbing the work out, you've got a hard lesson to learn. Can it be done? Absolutely. But it's strategic. You have to scale up to that. You don't come out the gate hiring subcontractors to do all of your work. That's a big conversation that really needs to be dealt with. And you need to understand that it's not that simple. You don't simply come out the gate hiring subs to do all of your work. If you don't know how to do it, how do you know that they're doing it correctly? That's just one tidbit, but that's a 5-gallon worth of information that has to be dealt with, and you need to digest it gallon by gallon, quart by quart, pint by pint to understand the intricacies of subbing work out. If you don't know how long it takes for someone to board up a swimming pool, how do you know that your sub who you're hiring is being efficient and that they're using all the materials that maybe you paid for? I don't mean to digress, but look, learn the business yourself. Take 6 to 12 months of you physically being in the field doing the work. And then if you decide to sub and the price points make sense, then sub it out to someone that you feel can do it at such a rate to where you can still make a profit. But if you're paying them above what you're being paid, that makes no sense. You're headed for failure. I didn't mean to really kind of go in that direction, but it is what it is, right? So I shared it with you. Final point. Did I just say final point? This is my final point. Look, if this material is helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. I'm typically not the one to be asking for people to like and subscribe my YouTube material. That's not really the purpose. I'm not really into the whole YouTube matrix thing. I share this content in order for you to get to know, like, and trust me. I want you to be able to know that, hey, Elvis is the real deal. He is what he say he is, and he's reachable, and I can vet him easily. That's really my objective, for you to be able to see me, get to know me, know that I know what I'm talking about, and for you to take my course. And after you take my course, we become friends. I become your counselor. You can ask me questions directly out from the field. If you ask many of my previous students, they'll tell you I'm very reachable, and I don't mind asking questions. In fact, I love answering questions, right? So, to be truthful, I have a counselor, right? I pay for someone else's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I have my strengths, and I understand my weaknesses, and I sub out areas that I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm an expert in property preservation and preserving properties. The whole mechanical side of that, I'm an expert, right? But social media, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all that other stuff, I know very little about it. Why do you think my videos are the way they are? I'm a novice at social media. That's not my strength. My strength is restoring stuff. I'm in preservation. I restore stuff. That's my expertise. I'm not good at social media. I'm not good at being an extemporaneous speaker. You know, sometimes you'll see me with my cue cards trying to remember what I'm gonna say, but I don't do pretty, but I get the job done. So anyway, the point is, when it's something that I don't know how to do, I don't mind hiring experts. I look for experts to learn from. And like I've said before, I hold 13 certifications in this industry: fire, water, lead-based paint, hazmat, HazWOPER, indoor air quality control. I have 13. I don't remember them all, but I have 13 certifications. I'm vested in this industry. Been in it since 2005. Prior to that, I was an engineer. I just repurposed my engineer skills and applied them to property preservation. All right, YouTube, that's it. That's all I have. If you have any comments, positive comments, leave them below and I'll be sure to respond. And if you like this video again, don't forget to subscribe and click the button. I upload videos once a week to try and encourage and support and direct you on the right path for those of you who are considering getting into this business. And if you're already in the business and it doesn't seem to be going your way, you need to talk to me. We need to have a conversation. You may be doing something that I wouldn't recommend doing, or just tweak something here and there. Don't give up the whole industry. Just, you need to tweak something, maybe do something slightly different. And maybe I can help you do that. Call me, we can have a coaching session, and you can peek my wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and apply it to your issue and see if the outcome is better than what you're currently getting. All right, so again, this is Elvis. Now, you know what I know, and see you in my next video.